I'm in Sephora right now and I'm gonna count how many 10-year-olds I see. Currently walking past a 10-year-old getting her eyebrows done. Can't even approach the drunk elephant counter right now. It's the middle of a Thursday. Why aren't these kids in school? Whose mom is buying them this? Go shop at Claire's.
Welcome to my first video of the new year where I'm already gonna start being rude and nasty to people because people on the internet like to act obtuse and annoying. So I have to make this video to show that there are better people on here. There are people who are not stupid. I shouldn't call people stupid. Everyone has their own opinions on things, but I feel like the majority of people with this opinion are annoying. I'm sorry, I have to speak my truth, but yeah, let me get started with this video. Since you've only just read the title of the video and you don't actually know my opinion yet, it may seem like I'm about to hate on little kids. I'm not. I'm not one of those weirdos on the internet who are mimicking little kids' get ready with me for views and likes. No, I'm here to hate on the grown folk who are being weird and acting obtuse about kids who are into makeup. So let me begin by saying what is actually going on with the internet. I will try my hardest to find the first few videos that made this conversation happen, where people have started discussing the epidemic of 10-year-olds, I guess, and specifically like 10-year-old little girls going into Sephora and either causing havoc in there, so like messing up the display stuff with like the drunk elephant thing, because I didn't even know what drunk elephant was actually before I started seeing those videos. It's the skincare brand where they can like push out the moisturizer in like a fun way and it makes noise or whatever. It's made for kids. Honestly, I truly think it was made for kids. So they talk about that. Some Sephora employees have come out and said that the 10-year-olds or whatever are rude. And yeah, that's kind of what's been happening in the conversation. Like they want either an age limit, they want these kids to stop going into Sephora. They think these kids shouldn't even be doing makeup, that it's inappropriate for them. And I'm here to let everyone know that they should actually just shut up and get a job and get a hobby, because I feel like this argument makes zero sense. There's no logic coming from this argument. It's just people wanting to seem better than the younger generation. Truly, this is the boomerification of young millennials, or the younger side of millennials, and older Gen Z who want to seem so much better than Gen Alpha, or I think Gen Alpha is still happening. I don't know when it ends. But Gen Z and millennials are trying to seem so much better than Gen Alpha, when it's like, you guys, we all have our own problems. So it's kind of like when I made my Gen Z and Gen Alpha video and how I think the education system is failing them and we should be doing more to help these kids learn how to read. And then I had a lot of people in my comments telling me that I'm actually talking about Gen Alpha. No, I'm not. I've met younger Gen Z. They're not doing well, and I'm trying to help that, so that way they don't keep doing worse. But people don't care about helping the younger generations. They just want to feel better than them. And that is my issue with this topic, especially since it revolves around young girls. This conversation isn't happening with young boys of mine and little James Charles running around. No, it's happening with the young girls and their little get ready with me's that they post on TikTok that they see their favorite people online do. Kind of like how you and I wanted to be like Bethany Moda. However, I do think I should clarify before I move on from this that I do think in regards to these kids ruining display cases or being rude to the Sephora employees, that shouldn't be happening, obviously. Like there's no need for these kids to be misbehaving in that way. But with that being said, it's a parent or guardian's job to teach them the proper store etiquette and manners in regards to discussing something with an employee, or to not be messing around with the expensive display cases. I don't think it's the grown woman's job, these random women who have nothing to do with these kids, to go up on TikTok with their attempt to go viral and calling these young kids names because they don't like that they're all over Sephora. Like, y'all, you sound unemployed. Like, just go during unemployed people hours if you don't want to see the kids. But with that being said, I had recently gone into a Sephora and the display cases were gross, I will admit. Like, obviously I have seen the good amount of people who have the strongest opinions on how kids just shouldn't be wearing makeup, period. And I'm going to dive into that right now because I don't understand where that statement is coming from, especially when it's coming from people who are literal beauty influencers or people who post beauty related content. I don't know where their idea that kids shouldn't be wearing makeup at all comes from, especially when honestly half of their paycheck comes from these kids watching them and buying their links. So I don't know where that's coming from, but let me share my opinion. Okay, now in regards to the complaints that these children are buying Drunk Elephant, Rare Beauty, Glossier, whatever items or products that these kids are buying, a lot of people are upset about them. I do agree that in regards to the skincare aspect, there's quite a few skincare items that I don't think these kids or even teenagers should be using because it's so harsh on their skin that honestly it might inevitably end up aging you more. So I don't think they need to be using the Glow Recipe drops, the bronzing drops. There's a lot of drops. Any harsh cleansers, retinol, stay far away from it. They don't need that. So I do agree in that aspect that in regards to skincare, parents and guardians should be researching what is good for their child's skin. But also, it is hypocritical because I was definitely using skincare at that age that I definitely didn't need. Like, everyone is talking about how like, oh, we were using the Clean and Clear face wash. Are y'all forgetting that? Is no one remembering that it came out that that was so bad for your skin? Like, it was so harsh, especially on like a young child's skin. So I do agree that with skincare with young children and even teenagers, a lot of these products they don't need. There's no need to be buying them, especially honestly, even I'm 20, so like there's also no need for me to be buying anti-aging skincare either. I'm 20. But moving on from that, a lot of the conversation is definitely circled around the makeup aspect, in the fact that like, why are these kids wearing makeup? Why are these kids putting on these specific products? And to that I say, how old were you when you got interested in makeup? Answer the question quickly. How old were you when you started wearing makeup or got interested in makeup? Answer me. Answer me right now, because I know a lot of people's answers are going to be this 10 to 12-year-old age range, maybe even younger. I also need people to understand that the whole trend of the clean girl makeup, whatever that means, and the no makeup look, which is, I'm pretty sure clean girl makeup is actually just the no makeup look, but it's just like a given name for it. I don't know. That makeup routine is exactly what our parents told us we were allowed to wear when we were in middle school. I remember I wanted to get into makeup and my mom said I'm not allowed to do her full beat glam look with a smoky eyeshadow for her 9 to 5. I wasn't allowed to wear that when I was 11 going into middle school. So I was only allowed to do BB cream, face powder, and that Maybelline mascara. That did nothing for my lashes. But I was only allowed to wear that. The current makeup trend is literally that exact same look. The makeup I am currently wearing is what these 11-year-olds are allowed to wear, because unfortunately I have fallen under the trap that I need to look 14. And hello, if the people who are 20 and 30 are trying to look 16, are y'all forgetting that when we were 10 and 11, we also wanted to look 16?
Something I forgot to add that I quickly need to mention is that these children aren't running to buy Estee Lauder, Lancome, or any brand like that, because those brands are not marketing themselves to be for children. This natural makeup trend that a lot of brands are trying to curate their collection to be, like Glossier, Rare Beauty, Kosas, of course, these are all the products that children are running towards and that their parents and guardians are allowing them to wear, because it's not heavy makeup for a kid. This whole natural makeup trend is perfect for a kid to want to get into, and if those brands are the ones the celebrities and their favorite influencers are advertising, of course those are going to be the products that they're going to want to have. And also, I think people need to not act like if their parents weren't willing to buy them a high-end makeup that they wouldn't absolutely rejoice and be like, yeah, sure, I'll take you up on that Sephora shopping trip. But also the comments that, well, I started off at drugstore, like it's very different than what these kids are doing because they're starting off in Sephora. What makes it different? You're still buying a makeup product and essentially the same one, just at different price points, because back in the day, a lot of the natural makeup looks that we wanted to do or were able to do, those products were being sold by e.l.f. or NYX, and now they're sold by high-end beauty brands.
I don't know where this like surprise and annoyance is coming from, because this has been a trend, I feel like, for every generation where they wanted to do very specific makeup looks. I remember when I was in middle school and teenagers, like 14, 15-year-olds, were going viral or getting popular on YouTube for being beauty influencers, I guess, or doing get ready with me's, and they were following the typical, makeup look of a smoky eye or a cut crease. People were being like, what the heck, why are you wearing a full beat right now when you're 14? And now people are getting mad that these kids are doing like no makeup looks. So what is it? If y'all don't want them in Sephora and y'all don't want them buying out Rare Beauty and Glossier, then stop trying to look like a kid. Go back to doing a full beat 2016 look and put on a cut crease at 9 a.m. if you don't want these kids going into Sephora. I genuinely think a lot of these people are just unserious when it comes to their complaints, because I've also been seeing an influx of people's experiences with, I guess, rude kids, and they're lying. I fully believe these people are liars because they're bad actors. A lot of y'all are not story time TikTokers because you have no charisma and you're bad at lying. There's no way all of y'all have suddenly started experiencing these 10-year-olds punching you in the face and calling you a slur. I know damn well that isn't happening because a lot of y'all are unemployed and are going during school hours. This isn't happening to y'all. Of course, I do believe the first people who popularized this conversation, because obviously a lot of people are going into Sephora on the weekends when they go into a mall or whatever, because I have seen a lot of kids going into Sephora when I'm there on the weekends and stuff. I personally have seen like groups of them. I do think that is a fact. Have I seen anyone acting rude or mean? No, because I'm in and out of there, because I don't like being in Sephora. It makes me uncomfortable because I feel less than, because I also look young, so then I get treated like I'm younger than I am, so then people are rude to me. Now I'm just ranting and hating like on how Sephora feels. Personally, I'm an Ulta girly. I much rather prefer going into Ulta. I also see less groups of kids going into Ulta, so honestly, I feel like this video is very repetitive. It's just that I like to make commentary videos on things that I want to talk about and something I have an opinion on that I think is worth sharing. So, a la the Emma Chamberlain video where I believed I had a differing opinion than the majority of videos I was seeing. That's why I'm making this video, because I think there is a way to talk about children on the internet specifically, and I think a lot of these people aren't doing it right. They would rather just call them mean names and say that they were a much better 10-year-old and that they were not doing this, so they're better as a person overall. I don't know how much better you can be than a 10-year-old when you're 25 ranting about them for TikTok likes. I don't really know. But yeah, that's why I wanted to make this video, to just, I don't know, kind of see if there's other people who are seeing why this bullying is happening for little kids. Because y'all, a majority of TikTok is little kids going on there. It's them looking at Get Ready With Me's, watching Get Ready With Me's. You know they're seeing on their TikTok feed that these grown-ass women don't like them. It's very icky and weird. It's giving the same energy on when someone is so passionate about their dislike for kids, it makes you so uncomfortable. Girl, just say you don't like kids and that's fine, but if you have to tell me how much you think they're little gremlins, I think you're a weirdo. There's a way to go about it. That's just my opinion. I feel like I should finish this video off by saying, stop making fun of children like this on the internet, especially when you don't blur their faces. If I see people filming Sephora and they're like showing these kids, blur their faces, please. These kids aren't being asked to put on your video about how they're acting in Sephora, especially if they're not even acting bad, you're just blasting their faces on the internet. There are weirdos on the internet who do like kids in the wrong way. Blur their faces, please. And with that being said, I will not be including any children's Get Ready With Me videos that I have been seeing on my TikTok, because that's not my place. I don't want to blast them on the internet. That is weird behavior. I will be, if I can find though, the first videos that I believe popularized this topic though, so that way you can kind of get a gist on what I'm talking about when it comes to why I was so honestly hateful and rude to the old people talking about these kids in Sephora. I feel like people should understand why I'm having this type of tone with them, because I think they're being annoying. And I've gotten more comfortable in front of the camera, so I'm able to actually act like how I usually do when I talk about this topic with my family. Please let me know what you think about this topic. Obviously, there are going to be people who do agree with what is going around and believing that these kids should not be putting on this type of makeup, doing this type of skincare, which I do agree. A lot of the skincare is not meant for their skin and they shouldn't be using it. And it honestly isn't meant for 15 or 16-year-old skin either, but I can't really tell them what to do because they're their own person already. They're grown. I don't know. I would like to see more on why this conversation is happening, because obviously in the TikTok comments, no one's really writing a paragraph on there. That's not really the place for that. But at least on YouTube, if someone does have a different opinion than me, I would like to know why. Or if someone agrees with me, I would also like to see that, because I deeply feel alone. Because y'all, even my hater younger sister was wondering why these kids are in support, and I had to explain to her my opinion. That's my video for today. Happy New Year. Welcome back to the 2024. Honestly, I do think 2024 is going to be a fantastic year despite this hate train for these little kids, because one, I get to hate on the people in my same generation for being idiots. Honestly, that is another thing. These generation wars definitely need to be stopped. This whole thing that Gen Z was going to be so different, they weren't going to be hating on the younger generations because they found that annoying for themselves. Look at what y'all are doing right now. Look at what y'all are doing right now and tell me you're not becoming exactly like the older millennials and boomers. Please be serious. Yeah, that was my video. My first video of the year. Crazy. Despite this topic for a video, I do think 2024 will be a good year, not only for the type of videos I make, because I am trying to, well, it's kind of hard to edit my commentary videos in a different way, but maybe my reading videos, I'll be able to spice up a little bit in the editing, because I have been watching a lot of tutorials. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I would honestly really love to see what other people are thinking about this topic. And yeah, I will hopefully see you in my next video. I have a lot of redecorating to do, so it might be bookshelf related. So yes, I will see you guys in the next video.